Okay, we're going to talk about different types of polynomials, and the first term that you need to learn is a monomial. We're going to have a lot of new vocabulary in this unit. A monomial is simply a number, a variable, or a product of a number and variables. Examples like 5x, that's a monomial. Like 3x squared y, that's a monomial. Just a number by itself is a monomial. Just a variable by itself is a monomial. These are all examples of monomials. Monomials with the same variables and same exponents, we've learned this one before, are called like terms. And like terms can be added or subtracted. If you're going to add or subtract monomials, you simply look for like terms and then combine them. Do not change the variables and the exponents. So remember this. When you're combining like terms, like stays like, meaning like terms stay just like they are. They don't change. And we've done some of this before. For example, 17x minus 25x, I can subtract those because they have the same variable. That would just be negative 8x. If you look at this one has the same variable and the same exponent, so these can be added. Negative 23y squared plus 6y squared is negative 17y squared. They get bigger and more involved, but again, what you're looking for are the same variables with the same exponents. For example, this one says negative 15a to the third bc plus 6a to the third bc. They are identical variables and exponents, so I can add these together. So I just add the coefficients, negative 15 and 6 make negative 9, and everything else stays just like it is. Okay. Look at 5. 2ab plus 9ac. These are different. One's ab, one's ac. You cannot add those together. That's the best you can do. If you go down to something like number 11, 13w squared plus 9w plus 4w squared minus 31w. At first glance, you could think you could put all these together because they all have w's. But remember, they have to have the same variables and the same exponents. So this guy here could only be combined with that one. And this guy could only be combined with that one. So if I put the w squareds together, 13 and a positive 4 make 17w squared. And then if I put 9w and negative 31w together, that's going to give me negative 22w. And that's my answer. I cannot put these together. That has a w squared, and that has a w to the first. Okay, here we go. Find the sum of 16y squared. Sum means add. And negative 5y squared. So I can add those together and get 9y squared. Nope. I can get 11y squared. Sorry about that. Okay. 15. Subtract 9a from negative 15a. Be careful here. I'm subtracting this from this, which means I need to put the negative 15a in the front. So I'm going to subtract 9a from that. So it looks like that. And negative 15a minus 9a is negative 24a. Okay. All right, adding and subtracting. Multiplying monomials. Okay. This is going to be a little bit different. To multiply monomials, you're going to use the product rule. The product rule says that when you multiply monomials, you keep the base, the big numbers, the x's, and you add the exponents. So whatever these two numbers are, you add them together. When you're multiplying, and we'll see some examples that will show this, but we're going to keep the base. going to multiply the coefficients, the big numbers in front, and we're going to add the exponents. Okay? So here, the base is always what's attached to the exponent. So in this case, it's the x's. So I'm going to keep the base. I'm going to multiply the coefficients. Well, it's just 1 times 1. The numbers in front, coefficients, the number in front, 1 times 1 is 1. Keep the base and add the exponents. I don't need the 1 in front, remember? A to the 9th times a. You have to remember that if there is not an exponent showing, it's assumed to be a 1. You have to remember that, because that's going to be a to the 10th. If you forget it, you're going to write a to the 9th here. This would be w to the 11th, 7 plus 4. Okay, so let's look at one that's a little more involved. This one has coefficients. Keep the bases. The base is x. Multiply the coefficients. 4 times 3 is 12. Keep the base. Add the exponents. Multiply the coefficients. Keep the base. Add the exponents. What happens if there's more than one variable? Treat them individually, but write it all together as one number. Multiply the coefficients. Negative 4 times 3. Now I'm just going to do the a's. Just the a's. There's 3 here, and there's 2 here. 3 plus 2 is 5. Now I'm going to do the b's separately. There's 5 here, b to the 5th, and b to the 1st here would be b to the 6th. You got to be careful that b there. You have to remember there's assumed to be an exponent of 1 on there. That's one of the most common errors. Look at number 24. Multiply the coefficients. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28. We're going to have a p, we're going to have a q, and we're going to have an r, and we're going to have new exponents on all of them. For the p's, there's 9 there and 2 there, so that means 11. For the q's, there's 3 here and 6 here. 3 plus 6 is 9. For the r's, there's 4 here and, well, there's not an exponent on here. But it's not 4 because that is assumed to be a 1. So it's 4 and 1 equal 5. Okay? If you have more than one term, let's look at a hard one. Coefficients get multiplied together. So this would be 1/4. And now I'm going to multiply this right here together. Negative 48. M. There's 1 here and 2 there. That makes 3. N. There's 1 here and 2 there. So that makes 3. And now all I need to do is multiply 1/4 times negative 48. Remember, make them both fractions and multiply the top times the top and the bottom times the bottom. So 1 times negative 48 is negative 48, and 4 times 1 is 4. The variables just stay the way they are. This will divide. If you can divide it, always divide it. This would be negative 12 m to the 3rd n to the 2nd. That's our answer. Okay. We mix it up. We're looking to add this guy and this guy. Figure out what this side is equal to first. These are going to be about as hard as they get today. 4 times 5 is 20. A to the, there's 3 here and 1 there. That makes 4. B to the, there's 4 there and 2 there, so that makes 6. Now we're going to add, and we're going to figure out what this one is. Well, the coefficient here is 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. A, there's 2 there and 2 there. That makes 4. And B, there's 5 here and 1 here. That makes 6. And now if you look, now we're being asked to add these together. You can only add them if the variables are exactly the same and the exponents are exactly the same. So this says 20a to the 4th, b to the 6th, plus a negative 2a to the 4th, b to the 6th. They're identical. So I can add these together. I add the coefficients now. 20 plus -2 is 18. And now for the exponents, I'm adding like terms. So it's different. When you multiply, you add the exponents. But when you're adding like terms, remember like stays like. The exponents stay just like they are. So this lesson, you have to remember, if you're adding, then the exponents stay just like they are. But if you're multiplying, then you add the exponents. Okay, so you got to be able to keep it straight. That's lesson 48.